Space Time Smackdown has been announced, but how did we all miss the breadcrumb? The Pokemon Company left us this breadcrumb when they launched the Blue and Blastoise event. In my latest video talking about these items, I said it was a bit odd that we had this temple display board and that it might be a hint that Arceus related content may be coming in the near future. And now we have Dialga and Palkia, the Sinnoh region, being announced as the next big set. Alongside the temple display board, it has been revealed that we will have access to a special Dialga, Palkia and Darkrai display board as well. That Lucario card, we're going to get more into that a little bit later. We'll also have access to this awesome Darkrai binder artwork. The Darkrai card hasn't been revealed yet, but I'm super excited to see it. So as I said, we're heading to the Sinnoh region with all the Sinnoh starters. Can't wait to get stuck into this. The first card we see from the trailer is, of course, Dialga. This card is going to be an absolute beast. Shout out to Hooglandia for the imagery. Dialga Ex for 2 energies has Metallic Turbo. Take 2 metal energies from your energy zone and attach it to one of your benched Pokemon. This is going to be phenomenal if you're trying to build up either another Dialga on your bench or Melmetal. Provided you can evolve Meltan into Melmetal early, you're going to be able to start attacking with Melmetal really quickly. Not only will Dialga obviously be able to load up Melmetal, but of course anything on your bench that has colorless energy. So we're talking Mew, Pidgeot, Tauros, Wigglytuff, anything like that. Dialga EX is one of the first cards of its type that can power up other Pokemon, whereas the Moltres, Gardevoir, Superior, Pokemon like that only charge up other Pokemon of that specific type. Next in the trailer, we of course get to see Palkia. Palkia looks phenomenal as well. Not as good as Dialga in my opinion, but let's break it down. It has 150 health, its 2 attacks for 1 water energy, slash doing 30 damage, and for 4 energy it does 150 damage with Dimensional Storm. While Dimensional Storm's going to be good doing 150 damage so it can take out an opponent like Mewtwo in one shot, you do use 3 energies after using that attack, so you've got to be careful. On the other hand, Slash only costs 1 water energy and you can play it straight away and start attacking really quickly. So I'm excited to use that as well. You could maybe pop it out early, 150 health, start attacking the opponent's basic Pokemon, and then retreat, keep loading energies onto it with Misty, etc., and then bring it out later for a big 150 attack. I think they've nailed it with the name of this set, Space Time Smackdown. It's wicked, better than Genetic Apex or Mythical Island, I think. We now get a glimpse at the starters, the Sinnoh starters, Turtwig, Chimchar and Piplup. We have not had their other cards revealed yet. We have Turtwig that does for 2 energy, does bite. We have Chimchar, which does 20 damage for scratch, and Nap, which doesn't do any damage with Piplup, which is interesting, but it does heal 20 damage. One of the cards I'm most excited to see is, of course, the Infernape. I think it's going to be an absolute boss and really beef up the fire decks. Guys, let me know in the comments below who your favourite starter is from the Sinnoh region. The next interesting card we get revealed to us is the Pachirisu. Now, the biggest thing about this is that with its attack, Sparking Gadget does 40 plus damage for 2 energies. If this Pokemon has a Pokemon tool attached to it, the attack does an extra 40 damage. That means just like the physical card game, we are going to have Pokemon tool cards entering the Pokemon Pocket Arena. It could be tool cards like Vitality Band, where the attack of the Pokemon this card is attached to does 10 extra damage, or a card like Hourglasses, where you might get to attach an extra energy to your Pokemon in the active slot. Stoked to see this card revealed next, the Leafeon, my personal evolution favourite. The Leafeon looks good, 90 HP, obviously will have to evolve from Eevee. So Leafy Cyclone does 90 damage, but you must be careful, you can't attack the next turn. So maybe using this as a final sweep or finisher move might be best. Next we have Honchkrow, and it has the ability Skill Dive, and it looks like this attack does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So any Pokemon, doesn't have to be a bench Pokemon. Both really cool cards that I'm excited to use in an upcoming deck. A big trainer card now, everyone's favorite, Cythia. So during this turn, attacks used by Garchomp or Togekiss does an extra 50 damage to your opponent's Pokemon. So really strong card. I'd be interested to see what Garchomp and Togekiss cards come out like. I expect the Garchomp card to be really, really strong, where we might be able to see it team up with Dragonite, being a Dragon-type Pokemon. Here's the Gibble here, which is the pre-evolution of Garchomp. We also get our first look at Cresselia. Cresselia looks like it's going to be an absolute staple of any Psychic decks. It has 110 health, and it has the attack Moonlight Gain, which does 50 damage, which is nice, but it also heals itself for 20 damage. Having 110 health and healing itself for 20, I think it's going to be a really strong frontline Pokemon to absorb some really good damage early while you're building up your bench. Not sure on what the retreat cost will be, but regardless, I think if it's 2 or 3, I think it's still going to be quite playable in all of your Psychic decks. Next, we have to talk about this absolutely stunning alt art Lucario card. It is awesome. Its ability, Fighting Coach. Attacks used by fighting Pokemon do an extra 20 plus damage. Not only will it be able to do an extra 20 damage on top of the 40 damage for Submarine Blow, but it also gives every fighting Pokemon in your deck an extra 20 damage on top. So Golem now, if you're using Golem, his attack does 150, will now be doing 170 damage. Couple that with a Giovanni, it does 180. You could potentially take out a Gyarados in one hit. What do you guys think of this card? Are you going to be using it in all your fighting decks? And finally, we have an announcement that trading will be here on Tuesday, January 28th. There is a little bit of extra news around trading, but I might make a separate video for that, so make sure you hit subscribe, turn notifications on, and stay tuned. Sinnoh region, let's go, brother!